and hope to go on to become future residents and citizens of this country. Also, a very warm welcome. That's what my wonderful team and I do week after week, month after month, year after year, is to work with all of you people from different parts of the world who are keen to consider coming to New Zealand on a temporary or on a more permanent basis. I'm called a licensed immigration advisor. That is my license, and which is the reason I'm called a licensed immigration advisor. So, the government of New Zealand understands that there are a lot of people from different parts of the world who are considering coming to New Zealand and wanting to be here on a short term basis or on a long term basis, because of which they created this whole bunch of licensed advisors because they want people to be informed properly, to be counseled properly, to be guided properly, because immigration is a vast subject. And while it looks simple from the outside, it is not a simple subject. And that's the reason the government said, all right, let's create a set of professionals who are trained and are able to provide this kind of information and services to people who want to come to New Zealand. And that's the reason there are people like myself called licensed immigration advisors. We are three licensed immigration advisors in our company. There's myself and our senior manager called Mary Joseph, who comes live on a Friday. So she's also a licensed immigration advisor. And then we have another senior colleague called Gisela Kombrug, who's also been a licensed advisor for many years. So that's us. And then one of our colleagues, who is an ex-immigration officer, is now undertaking that particular course. You see that particular certificate there. That's called the Graduate Certificate in New Zealand Immigration Advice. So one of our colleagues is also doing that course. She's actually doing the graduate diploma and not the certificate. And so she's going to get a license. And we hope another colleague of ours, who is also an ex-immigration officer, is going to start the course in July. And yeah, so AJB Services, the company based here in New Zealand, we are all about creating these pathways for different people from different parts of the world. And as part of our outreach program, we like to get onto these live sessions with all you guys and girls and talk about you. And I can see a lot of my colleagues have joined in already. I also see one of our wonderful new clients called Nova. Susan Isaac is here. Hey, Nova, I remember, I think in the session before the last or the one before that, you came online and said, hey, look, I'm still waiting for my visa. I think it's been sorted now. So many congratulations. And we hope to see you here in New Zealand very shortly. That's the other thing we guys do, is we're not just working with you while you're in your country and providing you with your admission and visas, but we're also working with you, especially after you come to New Zealand, because as I keep saying, in practically every live session of mine, the real drama starts after you guys come here to New Zealand. And that's really where you require an advisor, because anybody can get you an admission and visa, but only AJV will hold your hand and walk with you along the journey after you come to New Zealand, because the journey can be over 1, 2, or 3 or 4 years. And we are always there constantly at the end of a phone call. So, hey, look, Nova, a warm welcome, and hope to see you here in New Zealand soon. And I promise you will be part of one of our AJV get-togethers where they socialize, have a good laugh, eat some food, and network with each other. So that's the kind of atmosphere we are creating here in New Zealand. All right, so I'm going to start I'm going to kickstart today's Q&A with a question from actually our AJV Facebook group. We have a group on Facebook called NZ Options, New Zealand Options. So just go check for it, guys. And that's where we interact a bit more than at our page. This particular live broadcast is coming on the page, our official Facebook page called AJV Global, and it's also coming live on our on my personal YouTube channel. But I'm sure it'll become a video and set on the rest of our channels as well. So you guys have the option of pinging me anywhere. So I'm going to start with a question from Varad Vijay Shinde, who asked a question saying, hi, sir, I'm from India and I want to take admissions in film and television. I was recommended SIT Invercargill and Victoria University of Wellington. Are these right choices? Hey, Vijay, I think first and foremost, congratulations on choosing New Zealand, because New Zealand is right up there in terms of the creative industry. And, we are trying to attract people into this particular industry in the country. The government has actually designated this particular industry along with biotechnology and information technology as one of our identified future growth areas. A good choice to come to New Zealand to do a course in film and television. Number one, SIT Invercargill and Victoria University of Wellington are both good institutions, but there are other choices as well. There is a school in Wellington also called Wellington Institute of Technology, which has also got a good film school. There is a private provider in Auckland. It is called South Seas Film School, and the city where I live in Hamilton, Wintec, which is Waikato Institute of Technology. They also have a film school, so they have quite a lot of options. I would suggest that you get in touch with us, and we will put all the options in front of you, and then help you to kind of move in the direction of where you want to go, and also tell you the pros and cons of going to different cities and doing this particular course, because you also need to do it at the right level so that you get the adequate number of post-study work visa years, and which will give you the ability to pick up work experience in New Zealand, or go on to pick up a permanent job. And if residency is your desire, you could also aspire to become a residency here in New Zealand, resident here in New Zealand. All right, cool. Okay, so there is a question from Abhinav Sharma. As always, my awesome team of people. We are not just one person, but we are a big bunch of people spread across India and New Zealand. New Zealand and India, rather. This is our headquarters, but we do a lot of work in India because that's where a maximum number of our clients are coming from. But then we also work with clients from various other countries. Not just India, but Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Singapore, China, Brazil, Europe, Africa, everywhere. We're working with clients. In fact, this T-shirt I'm wearing has been gifted to me by one of our clients, wonderful clients from Nepal. So yeah, we're working with everybody everywhere. But hey, look, like I said, please, if you guys are serious about moving to New Zealand and creating a good future for yourself, you need to speak to somebody like AJV, because, like I said, we are catering to everybody. But most importantly, we are present here in New Zealand. So coming back to your questions, Abhinav Sharma asks me, and Abhinav has not told us whether he is working with us or not, and my team will prompt me and tell me. But guys and girls, whoever is following this broadcast, it'll be awesome if you can identify and say if you are an AJV client, because essentially this broadcast is for AJV clients. But hey, look, we are happy to talk to other people as well. All right, so Abhinav asks, can you guide us what can we choose after the 3-year post-study work visa? I'm in level 7 IT. Hey, look, Abhinav, that's exactly the kind of point I'm trying to make, which is, to the best of my knowledge, Abhinav, we are not one of our students, because if you were one of our AJV students, I would have remembered or recognized, or my team would have told me by now that you're definitely one of our students. What is, so that's where the problem comes, is because we are committed towards working with our students. It looks like you're already here in New Zealand and you're doing a course in IT, and you were looking at what has to happen. And that's exactly where we work with our students on a day-by-day basis, practically where required, and give them good technical immigration advice as well. Now, when you say, can they guide us, what can we choose after the 3-year post-study work visa? I'm in level 7 IT. Unfortunately, we do not have the resources or the time, or quite frankly, for that matter, our inclination is not towards working with non-AGV students. So all I can suggest to you, Abhinav, is go on and find employment in the IT industry. For us, for our students who are coming here into New Zealand, we are talking to prospective employers. In fact, I'm going to Christchurch to meet a potentially very large employer, and I'm trying to talk to him to see if they can take all our IT students who are coming to New Zealand. So that's the kind of support we are providing to our students. But unfortunately, because you're not an AGV student, the best I can tell you is get out there and do whatever you can. But if you were one of our students, we would have not only worked with you on your CV, cover letter, and networking, and giving you some clear doors to go knock on. And after you get your job, we also then work with you to understand whether it's the right job that will take you to your next work visas or to your resident visas. So that's the kind of work we guys are doing. So unfortunately for you at the moment, Abhinav, all I can tell you is get out there, start applying, find some work, and once you find that work, please do come back and talk to us again if you're looking at applying for your resident visa, so on and so forth. And as always, I have some details here that I can share with you. If some of you guys are already in New Zealand and you want information about how to apply for resident visas, or if you're already in New Zealand and you're looking at getting your partners or your spouse to New Zealand and you don't know what to do, please get in touch with Mary, who is our senior manager and also a licensed immigration advisor, and she will assess your case and let you know whether you can uh, apply for that. And if you're still outside New Zealand and you're planning how to get into New Zealand, if you're based out of India, please call that on the top there, that toll-free number that we've set up for our clients in India. But if you're not in India and you still want to get in touch with us, just send us an email to to info at ajbglobal.com and we'll pick it up from there. All right, cool. Next question is I don't know how to pronounce that, but Iqbal John Kasimov. I have asked you a question about me moving to New Zealand, but I have not received any response. I don't know what is your exact question, Kasimov, because like I said, it's a very vague. You want to move to New Zealand, but what, on a temporary basis, on a permanent basis, as a student, as a migrant? You haven't mentioned that. So if you're a bit more specific, I'll be able to answer. And you will also need to share your contact details were, so that we can kind of continue the conversation later as well. So be a bit more specific with your questions, guys, and I'll be able to come back with better answers. All right, cool. Okay, I'm looking to see if any of my people are pinging me about any prospective AJB clients. And next question is from Senavi Ratne. What about the master's program in international trade in Victoria University of Wellington? And I'm planning to settle in New Zealand as well. Okay, I mean, there are two parts to this answer. First answer part is, of course, it is a fantastic university. The University of Victoria University of Wellington is a fantastic university, something we strongly promote and have a lot of respect for. No problems with that. The course as well, being a master's program in international trade, is also a good program. If you're planning to settle in New Zealand, you've got to finish that course and you've got to find yourself a job that's relevant to that course and then be able to make an application for a resident visa. So I think overall your choice in it is pretty good. But it's a good, and also because New Zealand is a far-flung island nation and depends a lot on imports and exports. International trade is a good subject to choose, especially if you're looking at a long term in New Zealand. You have not mentioned whether you're working with AJB or not. It is very important, guys and girls, whoever is watching this right now and would like to, kind of make New Zealand your serious destination. Have a good, honest, serious conversation with us. Just coming onto this platforms and forums and asking a question and then going away and then landing here and realizing, oh, I really should have worked with this guys, is a little late. So, if you guys are serious about coming to New Zealand, for instance, if you get into Victoria University of Wellington and there's a problem, who's going to come and sort you out? Well, but if you're an AJV student, we will get involved. We will talk to the university. If there are other issues, you get into some issues with immigration, we will get involved. We will sort it out. So that's the kind of support we're providing to all our students and our clients who come to New Zealand. So Senet, do get in touch with us because we love to work with people like yourself who are coming at a higher level of course and to a fantastic university like Victoria. So all the very best. I think you're doing really well. All right, cool. Kevin Korean. Hi, Aaron. I have still not received an offer. No update since last week. Will I be able to make it for July intake if the offer letter is getting delayed further? Kevin, I'm thinking you would be one of our students. You have not mentioned it. People, I'm requesting you one more time. Please mention if you are an AJV student or not, because then my team can also ping and tell me whether you guys and I'll actually be able to give you exact updates. See, even as I'm speaking, they're giving me updates about each one of the names I'm reading out. So yeah, so I got an update just now, Kevin, that you are actually working with one of my colleagues called Grace. And yeah, your application is with an institution called ARA, unfortunately. And this is, I think, the first time we are experiencing a bit of delay with ARA, Kevin. By and large, they're good institution and they're pretty fast on to doing their offer letters. But At this point, they have been a little slow in giving us their offer letters. We have specifically faced a problem with ARA, and I also have another update from my team, Kevin, which says that the last update we received from ARA about your application was on 22nd of March, stating that your application is still under assessment and they will get back with an update soon. But like I said, they've been a little slow, which is not a very good thing, not for you, not for us, not for ARA themselves, because the faster they give out offer letters, all of us can continue to with the process and keep moving forward. But we'll push for it. As regards, will you be able to make it for July? Absolutely. Even if you get your offer by, let's say, the 20th of April, you would still have time to, go and, organize your finances, your medicals, and everything else. But I would suggest you start getting prepped with the other aspects of your medicals, your police clearance certificate. Start having those conversations with the bank if you're looking for, a loan or financial assistance, and tell them, hey, look, the process is underway, and look at the rest of our documents, and the only thing that will be pending is the offer letter, which I will come back with you shortly. And so, kind of start prepping for it, Kevin, and do not wait too long for this particular offer to come. Start moving everything. It's not like you wait for the girl to arrive at the venue before you start prepping the venue for a wedding. You start prepping it from much before, and then the girl gets down from a fancy car, and then the marriage happens. So it might be a very silly analogy, but hey, look, that's the way it's got to be. So start prepping everything else, and we'll keep pushing Ara as well to try and get your offer out as quickly as possible. And hey, look, Kevin, thank you so much for choosing to work with us. Really appreciate that, my friend, and hope to see you here in New Zealand very soon. Don't worry, we will get you here into July without much of a problem. All right, cool. Okay, next question is from Varsha. Sir, I'm an AJV client. Hi, Varsha. Thank you so much uh, for working with us. Much appreciated. This whole interaction is for people like you. So yeah, all good, Varsha. I applied for a course in Lincoln University last month. The university is taking much time for processing. I fear I may lose the July intake. What may be the cause of delay? Like I told you, Virgil, just now when I was answering Kevin, there has been a bit of delay, not only with the universities and institutions in New Zealand, but there has been a massive delay with immigration department as well, and processing some of the visa applications, and that did create a bit of an issue. But hey, look, you know what? We will push and get it done. All of you guys who are thinking whether it is too late for July, absolutely not. You still have time, because we have the whole of April, practically the whole of April. We have the whole of May. We have the whole of June. So please do not worry. We will get behind these people. The advantage for all of you working with AJV is that we are present in New Zealand, so I can pick up the phone, or Mary can pick up the phone, or Virginia can pick up the phone, or Gisela can pick up the phone. One of us can and talk to Lincoln University or ARA and ask them, hey, look, what is happening with the offers of our people and our students, and we can take it for. So don't worry, Varshahi, it will come through. Thank you for being patient, and we will absolutely take it forward from here. And Mary, if you're listening in, I think this is getting to be a little critical. These are just too many complaints coming from our students who are saying that the offers are getting delayed. So I think we need to get on the phone and start talking to these people. All right, cool. Okay, Nova, Susan, Isaac. Hey, Susan, I don't know to call you, whether to call you Nova or Susan. Obviously, Isaac's your surname, but I'll call you Susan. I think that's a bit better. So, hey, Susan, so glad to receive my AIP. Hope to meet you soon, sir. My full gratitude to you and my advisors. Thank you, Susan. Our gratitude as well that you chose to work with us. And I say this every time I'm speaking to all of you, is that you're all people with a choice. You could have gone to anybody in this big world to make them your agency or your consultancy or your advisors, but you chose to work with us, and for that as well we are eternally grateful. So Susan, yeah, congratulations. I remember your name from one of my previous interactions where you said you were still waiting for your approval. The approval is in, and my team just gave me an update that for you're going to be here for the April, May, June intake. Fantastic. And they've also told me that they've uploaded all the required documents for immigration yesterday. So I think everything is going to be cool. Yes, and I look forward to meeting you here. It'll be nice to catch up for one of those student meetings that we keep doing here quite regularly. It'll be awesome to say hello to you in person. All right, cool. Okay, right. And next question is SpongeBob on LSD. This sounds familiar. I remember this name. SpongeBob on LSD. SpongeBob by itself is funny enough, but SpongeBob on and LSD sounds fantastic. Um, why are Indian students called fake students on Reddit? They say studying in New Zealand is just a backdoor for PR. Is this really how Kiwis think? Good question, actually. I think it's SpongeBob has sorry. But is it all right if I tell out your real name because my team just said you're actually called Chinmay? So I because it's a little weird for me to keep saying SpongeBob. So hey Chinmay, it's a fantastic question you actually asked, and one of the unfortunate things that's happening in the world, and not just in New Zealand, is that people are kind of getting a bit more, nationalistic. They're trying to preserve their cultures and their borders and their boundaries and so on and so forth. So every time there is a little bit of an influx of foreigners into any particular country, and not just in New Zealand, but if you look at Europe, there is the same problem with the Syrian influx, and various other countries. I mean, in the U.S. there is a constant talk about the Mexicans crossing the border and coming in. So I think societies at large tend to get a little ruffled when there's an influx of people who are not from their culture or from their background, and so there will be a little bit of antipathy towards the people, but that's on one side of it. But on the other side of it is we're increasingly living in a world without borders. There is so much more cross-border trade and commerce that's happening in New Zealand. International education right now is the fourth or fifth largest industry for us. We've already crossed $5 billion of revenue. So I think what the government needs to do is create a better education about the benefits that international students bring to New Zealand and to various other countries that they go to. So that I think is lacking a little bit, and because of which the average Kiwi, tends to think that oh, international students are coming and making it a backdoor towards residency. And my point, my take on it is, why is it a backdoor? Because there is a published uh, manual of immigration New Zealand, which says we want migrants, please come in, and there's no back door, there's no front door, there's no side door. It quite clearly says come study here, get yourself a post-study work visa, find yourself a relevant job, and if you're matching the right position and the right salary, you can also make an application to become a resident of New Zealand. Why? Because we do not have enough people of the working age range here in New Zealand. So yeah, so that's the big picture, is that New Zealand is growing as an economy, and we would require a lot of people, young skilled workers and migrants, and if some of them come through the pathway of education, so be it. So I completely disagree with this term called backdoor, and in my own small ways I keep educating as many people as I can, because I do move around in a lot of circles here in New Zealand, with my Kiwi friends, with my European friends, with my Maori friends, and we kind of keep having this discussion. So feel confident, guys. Don't worry about some guys, because everybody nowadays is a keyboard warrior. It sit behind at a keyboard and put on anonymous fake ID and write whatever they feel like. So don't get perturbed by it. We should only get perturbed as people who are planning to move to New Zealand. The day the government says it is now our policy to stop migrants, I think that's the day we should get perturbed, but not by some individual sitting and writing comments on Reddit or Facebook or what have you. Because anyway, there's so much nonsense that they fill online nowadays. Anyway, I get a lot of adverse comments on my videos. By the way, every time I put up a video on Facebook or YouTube, and sometimes I go back to check the comments. Some of them are absolutely horrendous. They'll be like, people saying, "What are you doing? Why are you helping people to come to New Zealand? You shouldn't do that." Da da da. I'm like, come on, guys! It's not like I'm doing it only for my personal profit or my personal gain. That's what New Zealand requires. New Zealand is saying it's kind of put up a 5,000 or 2,000 page manual law on online which says, hey, look, we are looking for temporary people, we are looking for permanent people, we are looking at investors, we are looking at entrepreneurs, we are looking at international students, we are looking at workers with essential skills, we are looking at people with special talents. There's a whole requirement that New Zealand has. So, really, I just ignore all these silly people who don't understand big picture, not realizing that migrants and international students bring in a lot of value, not just economic value, but they do bring in a lot of good cultural value and other values as well into our country, which will benefit and become richer by this intermingling of those global influences coming into New Zealand. All right. So as long as the government of New Zealand is saying, hey, look, we want people, my team and I, we will continue to work. The day the government says, no, we do not want people, we'll probably stop doing it, because legally, if they say no, of course, we will stop doing it as well. All right, cool. Long answer. I'm sure you guys have realized that I'm getting a little worked up and a bit emotional about that particular aspect, because after all, it is my work, and I strongly believe that through my work and that of my team, that we are actually contributing to the growth of New Zealand. So it's a little hurtful when you hear people saying other things like, you're helping back doors and front doors and all kinds of different doors. Next question. Is from Nino Matthew Mampalikanel. I am planning to take admission in RI Institute of Canterbury in this July for Information and Communication Technologies, level 7. So after my studies, can I take my husband along with me? Any particular criteria for us? Hey, Nino, my team has confirmed that you are working with us and that you are working with my colleague called Ambali, who's a fantastic professional, by the way. So congratulations, you are already part of our extended family. So warm welcome to the AJB family. And yeah, I mean, so if you're going to come here and do a course at RI Institute of Technology in Canterbury, so what's going to happen is after you complete your course, you will get your post-study work visa. And the moment you get your post-study work visa, we should be able to get your husband as well on a spouse work visa or a partnership-based, temporary entry work visa, as it is technically called. So yeah, absolutely, it's definitely possible. And yeah, no particular criteria. We need to look at the fact whether you're genuinely in a partnership and how long this partnership has been, and whether it's a sustainable partnership, whether it was entered into with the thought of sustaining it. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, we have a really, really expert team of processing officers, and at least 5 or 6 of our team in AJV are also ex-immigration officers who work with the Immigration Department of New Zealand. And yeah, hey, look, we know exactly what we're dealing with. And some of these colleagues of mine were actually working in that section of Immigration New Zealand, which dealt with partnership visas. So we are absolutely well equipped, and our licensed advisors and our rest of our team, we are well equipped. So not to worry, Nino, we will talk to you continuously, even after you come to New Zealand, and we'll kind of help you to do that. And, touch wood, but so far we haven't lost a single partnership visa. So we hope to maintain that record and help all our students to be reunited with their partners at the right time. All right, cool. Okay, I'm quickly checking my messages from my team. Abrar Khan, how I come to New Zealand for work or study from Pakistan? You're doing the right thing, Abrar. You've taken your first step by asking a question here. And obviously, I can't get into a very lengthy, long discussion here about all the different pathways, but there are certain pathways depending on your background, your qualifications, so on and so forth, your age and stuff like that. So what we're going to do is, one of my team members will connect with you. When they connect with you, please have a good conversation with our team members. Guys, our information we provide is free of cost, and it is absolutely obligation free as well. We do not expect you to kind of somehow be obligated to us just because we've spoken to you and given you our information. Our job as honest New Zealand-based organization in the immigration industry is to give you that good, open, honest information. What you do with it is your decision. We will not sit on your head and say, hey, look, you've got to come to New Zealand, because, I mean, we get a lot of inquiries, and even if 10% of them eventually become our clients, we are more than happy about it. All right, Abrar? So please connect with my team when they get in touch with you, and we will take it up from there. Radio. Rockstar Amit. I like the name, Rockstar Amit. Sir, applied for visa on 28th January. I haven't received yet. Now, Rockstar Amit, you haven't mentioned whether you are an AJV student or not. If you have applied through AJV, you're a real rock star. Okay, I didn't mean to take it away from you if you're not. But please mention if you're an AJV student, because if you're an AJV student, we are doing certain things in the background, trying to reach out to Immigration New Zealand and push these things along. So please confirm. My team has also not confirmed whether they just told me you're not an AGV student, Amit. So I kind of have doubts about your rock star status. But no, I was just joking. Okay. Just check with your agency who's what, and they should be able to help you with it. All right. Cool. Preksha Jain, hello, sir. What are the job prospects of a master's in applied management program in New Zealand if I have no prior work experience? Thanks and regards. Hey, Preksha. Admittedly, it is not uh, easier uh, journey for somebody without experience as against somebody with experience, because obviously that experience can come in handy. But the good thing is you're going to be here in New Zealand. If you're going to come here for a master's, you're going to get a 3 years post-study work visa. So that's a good long enough time. And while you're studying, you would also get the opportunity to work part-time. So I think because of the fact that you do not have work experience before itself, if you while you're studying, you're able to pick up a job, a part-time job, and begin to work on that work experience, it'll prep you nicely to be able to get a job after you complete your course and also get your 3 years post-study work visa. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, quite logically and simply put, it's more advantageous if you have work experience, but it doesn't matter if you don't have work experience, because while you're studying, you can pick up that bit of work experience and create your networks. You haven't mentioned, but you're going to come to New Zealand through AGV. If you come through AGV, we will also connect you to some other people where the doors will open a little faster and you should be able to get into a job quicker. So all those things are also some things you must consider. But at the end of the day, every young person who does not have work experience has to start somewhere. And like I did, 25, 30 years ago, when I was a rookie and just fresh out of college, I had to go and sit in front of somebody with my CV and kind of sit there and say, hey, look, this is the first time I'm applying for a job, and you get that breakthrough, and then you kind of so don't be uh, uh, hit back by the fact that you do not have experience. Move forward confidently, and that confidence can grow quite dramatically if you work with somebody like AJV, because we're there to kind of give you that extra bit of boost once you're here in New Zealand, and most importantly, network you with other people. So hey, look forward to it, Preksha. But absolutely, come to New Zealand. You'll get a 3 years post-study work visa. That's a good long enough time, and I think you should be able to do that. All right, cool. Ruban Jay Singh says, hi, Arun. My wife has got an offer in MBA course in the University of Waikato through HAV. How is like studying in New Zealand? Do we have to take classes 5 days a week? And how about daycare in Hamilton? Ruben, I don't think it's a 5 day classes. Definitely not, because I went and met the head of the Department of Business in the University of Waikato. It's about 20 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. So I actually had a good, nice, long discussion with the head of the business department of the University of Waikato. Definitely not a 5 day classes. I remember that very clearly from that conversation. So not to worry about it. So what is the other question? How is like studying in New Zealand? Beautiful. One of the best environments on earth to study. So that's the reason my team and I will sit here and so actively and passionately promote New Zealand. And what's your other question is, how about daycare in Hamilton? Plenty of them, not to worry about it. And, once you come here, in fact, my senior colleague, Mary, who lives here in the same city, Hamilton and New Zealand, her child, who's a young boy, he goes to daycare as well. We have another colleague of ours called Prakash, who was one of our ex-students, and he worked with AJV till very recently. He's got a young child who also goes to daycare and those sorts of things. So absolutely not a problem, Ruben. And so don't think too far ahead. Think of it one step at a time. Come to New Zealand, settle down here, and like I said, we are always at the end of a phone call. So you can speak to Virginia, who is our customer service manager, and she is also an ex-immigration senior immigration officer, and her job is to ensure that all you guys are coming in and settling in properly. So hey, look, we got a whole setup around you guys, so don't worry too much about it. All right, cool. Okay. Right. What am I looking at? Anna Rennie. Anna? Yeah. Okay. Hello, I'm Maria, and I'm planning to do a master's in food technology. What is the scope of food technology in New Zealand? Maria, so one simple word answer to that. Brilliant. I think food technology is definitely one of those areas where there is very good scope. I have been, dealing with students of food technology backgrounds and almost 15 years now. And I remember, if I go back in my own career to the last 15 years, practically everybody who has come for this course in New Zealand has done really well. Why? Because food technology is also in our long-term skill shortages, and there are a lot of people, organizations which are looking at wanting to get good food technologists. So, and if you're going to be coming here to do a master's in food technology, brilliant. So please, and I would sincerely request you to work with us because a lot of our old students and clients are already food technologists working in the industry. So if you come to New Zealand through us, we will not only put you into the right institution and the right course, but we will also ensure that we connect you to some of our old clients who may be able to open those doors for you and get you into a job. So, but very good, a choice, and many congratulations for choosing that. And we look forward to welcoming you into New Zealand as an AGV student. All right, Sachin Tapa says, "Sir, wearing Nepal T-shirt." Yes, Sachin. Um, it was a T-shirt gifted to me by one of our wonderful Nepali clients, and yeah, it's been a privilege to work with a lot of nationalities. And recently, Mary and I, my senior colleague, we went to Tauranga, which is a city not too far away from here, and we actually did a seminar only for the Nepali community in Tauranga. There were about 50 or 60 people who came there, and no, it's been brilliant. We have some very good Nepali clients already working with us who are already here. One of those names stands out very clearly, called Jayanti. She's based in Auckland, somebody who is very full of life and also wanting to get involved with the work and promote us in Nepal. So yeah, hey, look, thanks Sachin for recognizing that I'm wearing a Nepal t-shirt. And yeah, absolutely. I hope when you come to New Zealand to as an AJV student, you will also get me a nice cookery. I would like to put it up on my wall somewhere. All right, cool. What about civil? Your next question. Civil is good. Civil is good. Civil is in our long-term skill shortage list. Civil engineering is definitely something that we would absolutely suggest to people coming into New Zealand because we are experiencing a building boom in New Zealand, not just houses and buildings, but also in infrastructure. In fact, just outside this door of mine is a big, massive motorway that is being created. So a lot of things happening in civil construction infrastructure side. In fact, the government recently came out with a new skill shortage list called the infrastructure and construction, skill shortage list. So definitely a good option, Sachin. But as I keep saying all the time, you will require good support after you come to New Zealand. So please consider working with AJV. When our team gets in touch with you, please, talk to us. And guys, the other thing I've noticed, a lot of you, come listen to these things, and then I think you end up going and working with somebody else. But when you come to New Zealand and then you get in touch with us and say, hey, I knew about you, but I went and worked with somebody because you didn't have an office in my town. You didn't, you come out with it. You guys don't need an office in your town. You need somebody here in New Zealand after you reach here. And the way this entire system works today is completely online. Immigration New Zealand does not meet anybody in person. They will take all your documents and it is uploaded into an online system, and the visa officer doesn't really meet you. So if you can't trust a visa officer who's not going to meet you, you should also be able to trust us and trust me and my team and work with us, because it does not matter. We live in a world today where that is the office, that as long as I have a device that is connected to the internet, that's my office. In fact, sometimes in the middle of the night I'm responding back to client queries and stuff. Which other company does that? So we are a very onto it, full on online organization and company, which is doing absolutely brilliant work, even if I'm saying it myself. But you guys have to trust us, because the most important human connect you require is after you land in New Zealand. And here you get to see us. In fact, when about 10 days back, we had a meeting in Auckland where we invited some of our students and clients to come and have dinner with us. And we were talking, and they were all giving their feedback and saying, this is the first time we're meeting you guys. And I was like, yeah, it's more important that you meet us here than back in India or Nepal or China or wherever else, because this is where you need us. This is where you need to meet us, talk to us, have those discussions, and get together and create those networks, kind of thing. So guys, please do not be put off by the fact that we don't have an office in your particular city or country or town. Just get in touch with us. We've been working with people from Brazil and Europe and Africa and China and every possible place on earth. So you will have to think new, you have to think New Zealand, and you'll have to think AGB and work with a company that's really progressive and working with a lot of online technologies. And so look at me right now, I'm reaching out to about 40, 50 people all across the world and talking about New Zealand, sitting in New Zealand and utilizing all this beautiful technology. So let's work in that particular fashion. And we love working with people who are also thinking progressively and, kind of, because that to me proves that you're also mentally in the right frame of mind to settle into a good progressive nation like New Zealand. So yeah, all the best, guys, and please continue to stay in touch with us. All right, cool. Okay, I'm trying to toggle between the instructions from my team and whatever else I'm getting here. Okay. Exit Patel. Hello, sir. I've got two offer letters. One from AUT for PGD in engineering, and other from ARA Institute for GD in construction management. AUT has double fees. Should I choose it or stay with ARA as civil engineer? Should I choose Auckland or Christchurch? Exit, you have not mentioned whether you're working with us or not. So it's going to be a little strange for me. Team, if you can tell me if Exit has got is working with. It's a good question, by the way, and so it's a good question. I mean, purely from, I mean, I know the fees is longer for AUT. Of course, it will be because you're going for a postgraduate diploma. But the fact that you'll get a 3 years post-study work visa, I would say consider AUT strongly. But hey, look, you haven't mentioned whether you're working with AJB or not, because if you are working with us, Akshit, we would love to talk to you and find out, but you haven't mentioned it. Team, if you can tell me if Akshit is one of ours, I can give him a bit more clearer answers. Vipin Vijayan asks me, I'm trying to check if there is any, yeah. It was still not allocated, but date given by was 22nd March. Hey, Vipin Vijayan, sir, your question is, sir, submitted on January 30th through AJB for our institute. Did not receive a call yet from immigration. Okay, Vipin, my latest update from your case officer, who is Ambali, she says that you will be, your case was not allocated yet, but expected assessment date has been given by Immigration New Zealand. Do not worry about the fact that you have not received the call yet from Immigration New Zealand. It is not always mandatory that Immigration New Zealand will always call a student applicant. A lot of our students get their visas without any interview. So it is just like I said, I've been repeating this now over a few live sessions. There has been an inordinate delay, unfortunately, by the Mumbai office of Immigration New Zealand. And it's become a little painful, to be honest, to keep saying this constantly, but there's been a bit of reorganization within INZ, and so because of that there have been delays. They're trying to sort it through and push it through. So I think you should also be getting it quite soon, Vipin. We are from our side also trying to push and make things happen. But as I keep saying, we can't get too pushy with visa officers, because eventually that will be detrimental to your own interests. So we try to kind of maintain that balance where we are being respectful in the pressure we are putting on a visa officer, but at the same time also conscious of the fact that you have a deadline to come into New Zealand. So we are kind of trying to balance that out properly. But hey, look, we will get onto your case and we'll push it through. All right. And thanks for choosing AJ. We really, really appreciate that. All right. Umar Farouk says, hi, sir, I'm interested. Please send me immigration details. All right, Umar, we'll get in touch with you and we'll share some information with you. All right, cool. Anand Shivadas, uh, says, hello, sir. I have applied for spouse visa. It has been 2 months and there is no information till now. Is there any issue? I'm really concerned. Anand, again, you have not mentioned whether you have applied through us or not. I'm checking to see if my team does not, if my team has got anything about your name, Anand, but we're not sure, Anand, Anand, why it's getting, I mean, like I said, if you're not our client, we will not be sure about why it's getting delayed because we don't know anything about your case. So all I can suggest is just hang in there and wait for them. Or if you've applied to some other advisor, please ask that advisor to put pressure. If it was my client, for instance, I'd pick up the phone and I'll talk to them immigration hotline provided for licensed advisors and demand and ask answers about my clients. And if it's not allocated, I put some pressure and say, hey, look, you got to try and get this sorted because of these particular reasons. But it appears you're not working with us. So unfortunately, because of that, I will not be able to provide anything more than what I just said. So yeah, just be patient or put pressure on your advisor. All right. Jeffrey David, FB or YouTube comment, are you answering? Absolutely, Jeffrey. That's the first thing I do every time I log into FB. But I am active on my inbox on FB. I'm active on a group on FB called NZ Options, and I do answer my comments on YouTube as well. Absolutely, and but then we have a page called AJV Global, which I do not answer. That is taken care of by some of my team members. But yeah, absolutely, I try and make it a point to answer as much as I can. It's not always easy because sometimes there's a whole flurry of questions, and it's a bit difficult sometimes. But hey, look, what's life without a bit of challenge? So I try and juggle as many balls as I can and try to keep it all going at the same time, right? Okay, Kalpana Singh. Hi, sir. I'm working as a bid engineer in Middle East handling ICT projects. Since my role is techno-commercial, I'm just worried whether to go for postgraduate diploma in management or ICT. I'm already working with your colleague, Sayan Madhavi. Kindly let me know your thoughts. Hey, Kalpana, thank you so much for working with us. And see, I like the fact that you've identified clearly that you are an AJV client, and I'd be happy to talk about it at length. And Kalpana, definitely please choose a technical subject first. So if you have the tech commercial kind of a background, which is great, I would strongly recommend stick to ICT because ICT is where we have a clearly explicit need for professionals, like yourself. There are opportunities also in management side, but they're not clearly mentioned in a document called skill shortages list. So obviously for ICT, there is a clear document with a whole bunch of professions and roles and all those kinds of things. So in my mind, it is very clear, Kalpana. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel and check out my all the different videos I have there, I think I have one which clearly says that, hey, look, you gotta if you're somebody with a technical background, always opt for a technical course in New Zealand. I mean, if not just in ICT, food technology, 3D animation, those kind of technical skills. We're talking about people who sit at a keyboard and do actual technical work. So always stick to technical side of things as your first choice. And then you look at management if that's your real interest. But no, really, I mean, to me, there is not even a doubt in my mind that you must definitely consider ICT as your first choice, unless and until you have not been at the forefront of IT and you have kind of moved away from it and trying to get back into it might be a problem. But other than that, if you're even reasonably relevant involvement with IT is there at this point, you please stick to your IT because that is where we have a need for professionals and shortages in our skills, but it will also suit your future aspirations. And again, just like food technology, a lot of our IT professionals and IT students who are coming to New Zealand are finding employment and then kind of pathwaying on into future residency and citizenship. So yeah, hey, look, thank you for working with us, and Sai and Madhvi are both wonderful colleagues of mine, and I'm sure they will sort you out, Kalpana. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand shortly. Yeah. Okay. Manish Patel. Hi, I got my student visa on 6th August 2018 for Napier campus, but after on 20th October 2018, I make variation of condition for Auckland campus. So how much year post-study work visa I got? Okay, Manish, not an easy question to answer because we'll have to look at various dates because there was a change in the policy around that time. So I don't think you're one of our students, Manish, because if you were an AJV student and you had shifted campuses, it would have definitely come to my notice. But I don't think so. But if you're really keen to get some information, and I would recommend you get in touch with Mary, who is our senior manager as well as a licensed immigration advisor, and she might be able to assist. But offhand, it will be difficult for me to tell you whether you'll get a 1 year or a 3 year or a 2 year post study work visa. So please share some details, and we will try and get back to you. But again, like I said, if you're not an AGB student, we know we've got to be a bit prudent about where we use our time and effort. All right, cool. Okay, here's Vipin. I'm an AGB student. Submitted. Vipin, I already answered, didn't I, Vipin? That. Yeah, I think Vipin, I already answered. So, like I said, there has been a delay, and we will take it forward from there, and we will try and push immigration and try and get it out. But there has been a lot of delay, Vipin. Unfortunately, it's not from our side; it is from immigration side, and there are a lot of reports in the newspapers nowadays saying immigration is really, really slowed down. They need to pull up their socks and make it happen faster. I've even posted some of this comment, the news articles in our Facebook group. So please have a read, guys. But just be patient; it will come through, and we will make it happen. All right. Cool. Tejas Tom Matthew. Hi, sir. I'm an AJB client, completed my BCom last year. I applied for PG Diploma in Logistics and Supply Chain Management and NMIT and PG Diploma in Professional Accounting in University of Waikato. I'm really confused about choosing a course among these. I don't have any experience, neither of these fields. Which course will suit for me? Hey, Tejas, good point. The good thing is, both of them are courses which are related to Bachelor of Commerce, which is great. With a background in commerce, you could either go for supply chain and logistics, or you could, go in for professional accounting. Both of them are, good courses. And in my view, I think both would have reasonable amount of opportunities going forward in future. Now, whether you should go for accounting or supply chain and logistics is a big decision now, Tejas, and it will not be right on my part to tell you to go only for this, or because I mean, technically, logistics and supply chain, there is one particular profession called procurement manager, which is in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. So on paper, that appears to be a better option, but then the New Zealand also requires a lot of accountants. So that also from a ground reality point of view also looks good. So it's very difficult for us to toss it up and say, for me especially, and say, Tejas, you have to go only for supply chain or only go for accounting. I think that final decision needs to come. And one, you're choosing, both of them are postgraduate diplomas. So for both, you're going to get a 3 year post-study work visa. So that makes the decision a little bit more tougher. But I would suggest, uh, you know, uh, the final decision has to be based on you go through the papers of each one of these courses and see where you get a more comfortable feeling when you're looking at those list of papers, whether accounting is appeal. I mean, and also I think another indicator whether you should be going in for accounting or for logistics is to see how much you scored in your accounting papers in BCom, for instance. And if you were a good student in accounting and you scored 80 or 90%, and you consistently perform well in your first, second, third year of your BCom, and especially in accounting, I think the choice is quite obvious that you have a natural aptitude and understanding of accounting. For instance, I do not have a great aptitude or inclination towards accounting, although I'm also a guy who graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce with honors. But I could never get my head around accounting. And I remember going back to my BCom honors days, I was better in mercantile law and secretarial practice, and few other subjects. It's pretty vague in my mind. So I was definitely not meant to be an accountant. So that I can clearly say. And in fact, if you look at my BCom honors, marks sheets, they will also tell you that, okay, this guy was never meant to be an accountant. So I think these are all some of the indicators, but the final choice has to be yours. Both of them are good subjects, and I would strongly encourage you to sit and go through those papers. If you're still in doubt, send me an inbox message and we'll have a chat, and we will sort it out for you. All right, but Tejas, thanks for choosing AJB and New Zealand, and I hope you are able to clear your dilemma. Like I said, you've got to take a look at who you are, where your interests are, and what the papers are saying in terms of what marks you've been getting for accounting and other subjects. So, okay, so that's your call. And also read up a little bit on supply chain and logistics and see, is that an industry you want to be involved with? Is that where you see yourself, in the future, and where your heart tells you, yes, I'm going to be happy in this industry? Then, hey, look, that's how your decisions will be made. All right, cool. Hankita Vanjari. Hi, sir. I got AIP. Does that mean my visa is confirmed? Okay. Let me quickly check. Okay. Hey, Ankita. Approval in principle is the last but one stage before your visa is approved. So after you get your approval in principle, you'll still need to fulfill certain, conditions. But yeah, AIP essentially means, yep, you're almost there. You got to pay the fees and put up the receipt from the institution, and yeah, you're pretty much there. Congratulations. You haven't mentioned whether you're coming to New Zealand through AJV or not. I really hope you are coming to New Zealand through AJV. If you're not, well, all the very best, and I wish you all success. But if you were coming to New Zealand as an AJV client or student, I'm sure we would have met in person and had an interaction, and also get to meet the larger groups of our students. All right, cool. Ashik Anwar, hi. I got an offer from private institute for PG diploma and applied. Yeah, my team just confirmed, Ankita, that you're not working with us. So all the best, and I hope you do well in New Zealand. Ashik Anwar says, hi, if I got an offer from private institute for PG diploma in applied management, is it advisable to go for private institute? Will it affect in PR process and future process? Well, technically, no, Ashik, because New Zealand has got three kinds of institutions. We have universities, we have institutes of technology or polytechnics, and then we have the private training establishments. All of them are governed, and the quality is assured by a government body called New Zealand Qualifications Authority. So I don't think there is a problem whether you're going to choose a private or a public institution. But I'll tell you what, because you've shared your number, we will get in touch with you. And check to see. But Ashik, I also got feedback from my team just now that you have been talking to one of my colleagues called Catherine, but you have not been answering her phone calls. So if you could please respond to Catherine when she's calling you, then we'll be able to provide you with more information. So, and that's the way we've got to work, everybody. Not just Ashik and our team, but all of you who are listening in onto this broadcast right now. We've got to have that trust and respect towards each other, because look at me. I've been sitting here for an hour and giving out so much information, and really I don't know what I'm going to get back in return. But the least we expect from you guys and girls is to be respectful towards our team and respond back to them when they're trying to reach out to you, because you're obviously a guy with serious intentions. That's why you're sitting and listening to this and asking me questions on this live broadcast, and I'm happy to provide you with that information. But if you continue to speak to Catherine, and if you have more doubts, raise those doubts with Catherine, and if she is able to answer, she will. If she's not able to answer, she will escalate it to her team leader or her manager, or even bring it to my notice. And between all of us, we'll give you the right information. All right, Ashik. So look forward to working with you and seeing you here in New Zealand as an AJB student, Ashik. And for that, you'll need to please respond back to Catherine when she's trying to get in touch with you. All right, cool. Okay, where are we on time? I think we're almost coming to the end of this particular session, but I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then call it a day. Jeffrey David, hi, I'm Jeffrey. I completed BA Mechanical Engineering in India. And how will be my opportunity in New Zealand in higher studies and job opportunity? Hey, Jeffrey, first and foremost, BA Mechanical is a good field. engineering is in our long-term skill shortage list. So good choice. And how will be my opportunity in New Zealand in higher studies? Absolutely brilliant, because if you've already done a BE, we would love to see you come here into a postgraduate course in your own line, and so that you get a 3 years post-study work visa. And also, I have a bit of a complaint about you, Jeffrey, from my team. They're saying that you started talking to one of my colleagues called Jagrati, but then you stopped responding, and that you are only keen to work with your local agent, which I think is a mistake. And I can tell this to you very clearly, because you're probably looking at the comfort of, oh, there is an office, I can go locally in my town here and I can talk to them and get my work done. But I promise you, my friend, the problem is once you come to New Zealand and you find yourself in all kinds of confusing situations, that local agent is not going to be here. We are going to be here. So it's a very important decision you've got to make right now, Jeffrey. And I would strongly urge you, if you have the smartness to understand what is good for your future, I think you need to continue to speak to my colleague Jagrati. And like I said, these local agents don't care about you once you leave your country and come to New Zealand. But we are here. We will become your local agents after you come to New Zealand. That's not rocket science, people to understand. So if you want a local agent, they got to choose somebody who will be a local agent after you reach New Zealand, guys. It's not very difficult to understand it. All right, Jeffrey. But good course choice, and I hope you come to New Zealand as an AJV student. Otherwise, I think you will find yourself in a lot of confusion, a lot of mental trauma, and a few months from now, you will say, "I really should have listened to Arun and gone with this company." But so yeah, very important moment for you. So you need to take the right calls, Jeffrey. Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna do two last, and then I'm gonna wind it up. Zainab Iftikhar says, I'm interested in settling in New Zealand through your agency. Thank you, Zainab. I have BBA honors, University of Lincoln, UK in 1999. I have 20 years of gap and want to get admission to postgraduate diploma in ARA or Canterbury University. Will I get admission since I'm not working for the past 11 years? I'm a mom of triplet boys and give up my career to raise my kids. Can I bring my kids as domestic students? Please advise how I can proceed further. I'm from Pakistan, currently residing in Dubai for the past 30 years. Hey, look, Zainab, good questions. No problem about the gap. Studies can be taken up at any time. I took up studies to, do that particular course after almost 25 odd years. So no problem about that. Will your can you come with your children? Of course, you can come with your children. If your husband also accompanies you on a work visa because you're going for a master's course in New Zealand, then your kids would get domestic student status. Not a problem. Only, but if your husband also is present here in New Zealand on a spouse work visa. I'm what else? I'm a mom of triplet boys. I'm a dad of twin girls. So yeah, all good. It's lovely to have those multiple kids at the same time. Yeah, you can. And we've worked with Pakistani clients before. We have some fantastic Pakistani clients who are already here in New Zealand, and a part of our extended AJV family. We would love to work with you. Please get in touch with our team, because there's a lot of information and documents we'll have to go through step after step. But to answer your main question, no problem. You can take it up. You can pick it up, and we will see you through each and every step. All right, guys. Last question from Mithun. Hi, sir. I'm an AJV client. Hi, Mithun. Fantastic that you're an AJV client. Really appreciate that. I will probably apply for today or tomorrow. So I just want to know whether I will get my visa on time for July intake. As an AJV client, will I get an edge over and get visa ASAP? Hey, look, good question. Mithun, definitely, I think you will get your visa in time to make it for July. Will you get an advantage in being an AJV client? Well, I cannot say outright that yes, you will definitely get an advantage through Immigration New Zealand, because that's not a right thing to say. But I'm sure Immigration New Zealand will take into consideration good applications that come from good agencies who have a good track record with them. And we have always had a 90% plus kind of a success rate with Immigration New Zealand. We are also doing good numbers with them. There are absolutely never, ever any adverse remarks against AJV in the records of Immigration New Zealand. So I'm certain they will take into consideration all these aspects. And we are also sending some of our people, senior people, to go and meet the immigration team in Mumbai, which is the office that takes these decisions. So we're trying to create those repos. Please also bear in mind we are an Education New Zealand recognized agency, so we already have a tag of being recognized by the government of New Zealand. Also remember that there are three licensed advisors in this company: myself, Mary, and Gisela. And as a practice with all our students, now we are attaching the name of a licensed immigration advisor to each student visa application, so that if they're getting stuck, we can pick up the phone as licensed advisors. We have a special hotline, and we can get, call them and ask them exactly what is happening, which a lot of other local agents will not have that ability. So definitely you have a few advantages of working with us. In fact, I'd say distinct advantages of working with us. And going forward, those advantages will multiply, because once you come to New Zealand, we're also going to do a lot of other things for you. So yeah, bottom line, I think it will all work out well for you guys and, yeah, and girls who chose AJV. And yeah, thank you so much for being part of our effort to create a better New Zealand by attracting the best talent we can, either through the education pathway or through the direct migration pathway. But it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to sit here today and talk about the opportunities that can be created. But we've got to work together, so you've got to be responsive when our team is getting in touch with you. Likewise, we will give you our sincerity, our honesty, our best efforts, and stand by you guys and girls as you start your journey in New Zealand. And we will ensure that you reach those goals of residency or citizenship or whatever else that you have as options. All right, cool. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, I can see a lot of other questions here. Latika, Saura, Banu, Kalpana, Weapon, lot of questions. Arti Sharma. Sorry, guys, I'm not able to go beyond an hour most of the days because the throat starts giving up. But at the same time, I try and run through as much as possible. I just heard my phone go beep. Excellent. Thank you very much, as always. And I do this little ceremony of ringing this bell to say that time is up. But till the next time, my colleague Mary will come live on Friday, and she will be there. Guys, we are also shifted into a 5-day week, so we will not be there on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you have questions to ask and things to clear, please do it in these live sessions. And otherwise, our awesome team is always present for you guys. All right. Thank you very much. See you next time. Good night. Till the next time. Bye bye from Hamilton. Bye bye.